While more than 2 million Rwandans remain in refugee camps, only a tiny percentage have attempted the return journey. Most of the Hutu refugees have chosen to remain in the disease-infested camps rather than return to a home now governed by Tutsi rebels. The conflict has been called genocidal, turning many Rwandan villages into ghost towns. Global Special Correspondent Claude Adams and cameraman Marlon Paul have prepared this feature report. We warn you in advance that this story does contain graphic and disturbing images.
The Tutsi rebels who won the war and are now part of the new government say they don't want revenge, only justice for the 500,000 Tutsis who were slaughtered. But so much blood has been spilled, it's hard to imagine Rwanda's two dominant tribes living together again in peace. Behind every locked door, it seems, there's another atrocity. On an army base in Kigali, rebels broke open a steel door and found a set of coffins. One of them bore the name of Rwanda's former prime minister, assassinated last April by a Hutu mob. Innocent Kashugi is one Tutsi who will never forget. A Hutu mob attacked his home and killed his wife and 5 children. Only one daughter, who hid with him, survived. I asked my daughter not to scream, he says, because I couldn't fight the militiamen. So he hid in a secret room for 2 weeks and lived on salt, water, and vitamin pills. In some cases, the armed militias forced Tutsis to kill their own family members. Whole villages were enlisted in the slaughter of other villages. Finding the killers and bringing them to justice will be a legal nightmare, says Hugh McCullum of the All Africa Council of Churches, who toured the region.
I think there'll be a real problem with revenge. These people killed my group, now my group wants to get even with them, and whether the Rwandan judiciary, if there's even any of it left, can cope with that, I'd be very, very surprised.
Jean Chrysostome has no doubts that what happened was a well-planned act of genocide. In April, a group of Hutu militiamen visited his school in Kigali, where local Tutsis had taken refuge. They had orders to kill only Tutsi men, and they did just that. The corpses, he says, stretched all the way from here right to the main road. The Red Cross came 3 days later to take them away. Chrysostome says that if Rwandan courts cannot deal with these crimes, then it's a matter for international justice, because these were crimes against humanity. Finally, there is this church 4 hours' drive southeast of Kigali. When the killing started in April, several hundred Tutsis came here for refuge. They were massacred to the last child with grenades, machetes, and shotguns. Today, there is not a trace of life anywhere nearby, a village of ghosts.
In case anyone still doubts that genocide happened here, the new Rwandan authorities offer the case of the Nairobuya parish. Hundreds of bodies purposely left unburied, a mute testament to one of the worst moments in African history.
Eyewitnesses said the killers left the scene of the church singing that they had killed all the Tutsis. Ephraim, a Tutsi peasant whose own son was killed, says he can never forget or forgive the Hutus.
I mean, can you live here again? Can you continue to live here?
Me?
Yes.
Anyway, but I want to live here, but I don't want to live with them. Because I fear them very much.
Observers fear that even if the new government finds a way to prosecute the killers, the thirst for tribal revenge will remain. And it will be up to future generations of Rwandans to find a way to live together. For Global News, this is Claude Adams in Kigali, Rwanda.